What's up, nail friends? Love is in the air, and today I have a set of Valentine's nails to share with you. So if you want to see me work on myself, then just keep watching and let's get started. To start, I always have a base down, either sculpted or tips. I sculpt on all my clients, but I prefer to tip myself because if I didn't, I'd be here all day. This set took me about 5 hours with the tips, so I applied my tips and now I'm prepping using Ugly Duckling Prep. To prime or bond, I'm using Elite Power Base. On 2 of the nails, I'm extending the nail bed, but on the other 3, I'm not, so I'm applying a thin layer of clear acrylic. This is Envy brand to protect my natural nail when I want to redo my set. For my cover pink today, I decided to switch it up and use CJP Birthday Suit. It went really nicely with my skin tone, and CJP is so smooth and easy to use. I applied a thin layer to start around my cuticle area, and then I built it up from there. I will be filing the smile line when it's dry, so it doesn't need to be completely perfect, and applying crystals as well, so it's really not a huge deal if it's not perfect, but of course I wanted to try and practice getting a nice smile line on myself. And then after I finished my thumb, I also applied this on my ring finger. Once I've used my brush to create the overall shape of my smile line, I applied more acrylic on top to build it up, and that way I already have the line that I want to use when I do my smile line, and I'm going to file it out. But I just wanted to also add more acrylic for building and creating an apex and creating strength, so that's what I'm doing here. For the glitter, I'm using Glam and Glitz Red Cherry. This is a bold red with holographic glitter in it. I've actually never done red on my nails that I can remember, so I decided to use this one this time and get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I'm applying this on my pointer finger, and I'll be applying it on my pinky nail as well. I applied it right at the cuticle area, and then I faded it down the nail. I want my tips to be clear, so I'm only pulling little pieces of glitter down and keeping it mostly near my cuticle and the middle of the nail. I wanted to add some more glitter because who doesn't love more glitter? So I mixed Glam and Glitz White Sand, which is just a fine gold shimmer, with the Glitter Life Fireflies, and I applied it where the end of the red was and just used the very tip of my brush to move it where I wanted it. I really wanted to add some black to my design, so I'm using one of my favorites from Glam and Glitz called Black Lace. This black has a shimmer in it. I'm just applying this, and then I'm going to be pulling some red through it, so I'm kind of doing it sort of like a marble design. The red I'm using here is CJP Vamp. This is such a nice, perfect medium red. And CJP is super easy to use, which is something I kind of need when I'm doing my own nails because it's already hard enough. So here I'm just kind of pulling the colors together. I'm doing them kind of wet and using the tip of my brush to sort of blend them nicely. Everything I do is with a nice gentle touch. You really don't want to use a heavy hand or you'll create like a muddy effect, and that's not what we're going for. You'll see me here flood the cuticle a little bit with this red, but it's not going to cause any lifting because I applied a clear base on this nail. To fix that, you can take all the liquid and monomer and color out of your brush and kind of carve it out around the cuticle area. And now I'm just adding that same glitter mix that I made earlier at the very end of the color and then fading it down, keeping the tip clear, and then I'm just pulling some of the color through as well. Now that my cover pink is dry, I'm just going in with a 100 to 180 grit file and just crispening up that line. Make sure you wipe off the dust before adding more acrylic. And so I'm just going in here with black lace again, using the very tip of my brush and kind of pushing it against that line I've created, and it has kind of a ledge you can see here. And so you don't really want to go over it, but it's not really going to matter because when I hand file at the end, I will take off any that went over that line. And then I'm just going to lightly pull it down. I don't want to apply a lot. I just wanted just a little bit of black just for, you know, just to add some in there. And then I'm going to add red cherry to extend that red glitter, and I'm skipping all the extra glitter. Once all those nails are dry, I'm now encapsulating with the Envy brand acrylic I was using earlier. I have a huge habit of just getting tired and not creating enough structure on my own nails, and then I'll always hurt myself and snap them in half, and it's a whole ordeal. So I didn't want that to happen this time or ever again. So I spent a lot of time on my encapsulating, my apex, and my finish filing. I also always apply way too little at the very tip and then have my very tip break off and end up changing them to coffin nails, but this time I wanted to actually build them up properly, even if it took me 5 freaking hours or more. So you'll see me adding a lot of clear on these, especially at the very tip. And here, since my nails are so long, I obviously could not do this with a one ball method. So I apply a bead at the cuticle and then I just pulled it down just to try to cover up the glitter. And then I went ahead and tried to work on my apex and shaping and all that jazz. After applying on that second nail, I stop and I check to see if my first nail is ready for pinching. And that's just how I go along. I never rush this part because I want to always make sure I get a good pinch in. You want a good pinch because it helps with strength and then you get a nice C curve. And although I did use tips here, it's still good to get a nice pinch of your sidewalls. The tool I'm using for my pinching tool, I got off eBay. You can get these at suppliers too, but I just found that a pinching tool doesn't need to be that fancy, so eBay it is. I'll try to find a link for you guys, so check my description box for all products listed in this video. When doing my own nails, I like to finish file using a hand file. So this is my 100/180 grit file that I was using before. I made sure to score the edges or else you'll cut your sidewall area and it really hurts. So make sure you score your edges. The reason I like to use a hand file instead of an e-file at all when doing my own nails is it's just really hard to control it, and so I just find this a little bit easier. So what I'm doing here is perfecting my sidewalls, trying to keep them straight out from my natural nail, and then I'm going over the whole nail, trying to smooth it and even it out, going around the cuticle area and just being slow and gentle and just trying to make sure it all flows nice and evenly. I come straight out from the sidewall, and then I take my hand file here and I kind of go around just so you don't get a square-like edge at the end there. You don't want any kind of square-like edges, you just want it to be nice and flowing. So that's what I'm trying to do here with my hand file. After I finished filed all of these, I wiped off all the dust, washed my hands, and then took a look and realized that I just didn't think that my pinky and my middle finger were strong enough. And like I said, I've had some troubles in the past snapping my natural nails in half, and it's been a bloody mess. So I decided to apply my clear acrylic again and try to make it come out nice and even and to build it up a little bit more just to make sure that I don't get any snapping. And I wanted these to be as perfect as they possibly could be. And I was already, you know what, I was already 5 hours in. I was like, what else do I have to lose here? I've already spent the whole day doing these. Might as well make them perfect. So that's what you see me doing here. And then I finish filed them again. So after those were all finished filed, buffed, cleaned, I've washed my hands, all dust removed. Now I'm going to be applying some 3D roses or 3D flowers. So I'm using my Ugly Duckling 3D art brush, and I'm using the black and red that I was using earlier, the solid colors, and I'm making some flowers. So first I just do a small petal, I put it on the nail, and then I remove all the liquid from my brush to push into place. Each push I wipe off my brush again, just trying to remove extra liquid. By removing extra liquid, dipping your brush in monomer, wiping off your brush and cleaning it off again, it just makes it easier to push it right into the place you want. Because if your petal has lots of liquid in it, it won't create those little lines I'm creating to make it look more realistic. So then after I do the one petal on the one finger, I moved it onto my thumb because I wanted it to dry since I'm doing this on myself and it is pretty difficult. So I'm letting it dry by applying a petal on my thumb, and then I'm going to go back and forth between the two. Then I'm just applying a small bead in the middle of these 3 petals and using the very tip of my brush to push in and kind of create a center of a flower. I'm going to be adding a crystal in the middle of this. So when I was creating the center for my thumb, I realized that it would be kind of cute to make it a heart. And I kind of wish I did it on all the other ones because it was super cute and definitely great for Valentine's Day. But I only got it done on the one thumb. Time to bling these bad boys up. So I'm using Kira Sky's base. So this is from their dip system, and it is the base you would use, but man, it's amazing for glue for crystals. So if you guys are looking for like a brush on resin that is amazing, I highly recommend this one because these don't go anywhere. They're like hard to get off when the client comes back. So I'm pretty impressed by this. So I'm just applying red, crystal clear, and black crystals. This is my blinger tool from Ugly Duckling. I obviously need a new one. Mine has seen better days. But yeah, that's where I got this tool from. You can also use a crystal katana or whatever you feel comfortable using. And then I just added a crystal in the center of the rose, and I applied some more on the marble nail. And don't forget to check out my description box to find everything I used in this video. It will be in there. And if I forgot anything, please remind me in my comment section. To top coat these, I'm using my favorite top coat. This is Kira Sky's No Wipe top coat. It's a little bit thicker, so it creates like a really nice shine that doesn't dull or chip or anything. This is my hands down favorite top coat. It's really great to cover chrome too. If you just do 2 coats, it does a nice job of covering chrome without chipping. You'll also want to make sure not to apply this on top of your crystals, since these are genuine Swarovski crystals. You'll dull its nice shine. And I also do not apply it on top of 3D. I just like the way a matte 3D looks better than a shiny 3D. And then I'm just curing this in my Kira Sky lamp. And here is the finished result. What do you guys think of my super pretty red and black nails? And if you were on my Instagram, did you expect me to do this? Because I never told anyone what I was going to do, but I did ask for suggestions and shared some ideas. So was this what you were expecting? Let me know in the comment section. I also wanted to ask you guys to let me know what you'd want to see next, because I think I'm going to try to continue to do my nails for YouTube videos, and I'll obviously keep them long and pointy, or maybe long and coffin. So I'm open to ideas. I definitely want to try some new things on myself. So if there's anything you'd like to see in a full tutorial like this one, please let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Check out my description box. Don't forget to share, like, comment, subscribe. Keep your nails long and your glitter strong.